Hey y'all, this is Victor Haskins with Lesson 5 of the How To Melodic Improvisation series, and this time we'll be approaching style for the first time. And I warn you, it's going to be kind of silly. But, what is style? Style is how something is said, and musically that translates into articulation and dynamics. So, I've also stated before that music is a language, and it might be helpful for us to approach style linguistically first. Let's take a simple phrase like, I love cake. And I'm going to express this phrase several different ways stylistically to create different meanings. So here's I love cake, the monologue. I love cake. I love cake. I love cake. I love cake! Okay, so what were you able to gather from these different ways I expressed the phrase? Depending on how I expressed each syllable, how I spoke each syllable, or the cadence or rhythm of how I spoke the entire phrase, you got a different feeling and it conveyed a different message. That's important to note, is that I not only did I change the style, but I also changed the rhythm, because that's how we speak. Style and rhythm convey most of our message. The content is kind of an afterthought. But what we're going to be working on today is just style, and that's how we're able to gain mastery over each of these individual elements, so when we put them together, it makes sense together. So, we're just going to work on style. We're going to practice the same thing with Three Blind Mice. We're going to express just these first two bars that you see on your screen, and we're going to loop it over and over, and we're going to try to express it in as many different stylistic ways as we can. You're exploring how many different kinds of sounds you can create without changing the rhythm or the melody. So, I'm going to give an example of that, and I'll tell you what I'm thinking about afterwards. Okay, so if you notice, there was a wide variety of different ways I was making those two bars sound. The way that I'm doing that is that I am literally speaking this phrase, singing this phrase with those different inflections in my head. So when I played it, when it had the kind of gravelly sound, I was literally going, wah, wah, wah. Like I was thinking that sound in my head. You know, it's kind of a cartoonish sound. Or maybe the other, or one that was earlier in the series where I was like, like I'm literally thinking that in my head to create the sound, not thinking staccato, tenuto, staccato. I'm not thinking about that because that would not give me an authentic sound. Because when we are playing and improvising, we are literally speaking through our horns. And that's an important thing to remember, because that's how you're communicating your message through your music. You're speaking, you're just adding pitches to it. So, that's this week's lesson. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the questions or comment section below, rather, and I'll answer them, and I'll see you guys next week for our next lesson on style. Thanks.